At Ronin, Tales of the Samurai. This is the final installment, the final one for Tales of the Samurai. So far, this has been a great installment series within a series. Like, honestly, this is supposed to be just me telling stories of my past and stuff that I wanted to be public on my series in some capacity. You know, for the longest, I've wanted to tell part of my story, you know. All of what was included in all these installments is stuff that I really wanted to be known. You know, this is the big stuff, you know. It's not all the stuff, or it's not everything big, but it's all the stuff that I do want to be aired, and I do want it to be told on my series in some capacity, because this is my Doctor Who YouTube series. This is, you know, I can do whatever I want. You can't come here and tell me what I want to do and what I should do. Just like I can't tell you to go do what you want to do. This is my platform. This is my series. I could do whatever I want. And these stories, I want them to be told. I want them to be a part of something on here in some capacity. And I think doing it in Bring It is a good platform to do it on. And especially it's Bring It Ronin, because Bring It Ronin is a spin-off, but also this series turned out really good. Like this turned out better than I expected it to. Like, I feel really good telling all these stories. Like, mentally, I feel really good. It's like weight coming off me. It's like getting everything off my chest. And I did all of these back to back to back. It's already 3 o'clock in the morning. It's 3 o'clock exactly right now. I think I started this at like 10:30, 11, non-stop, a little breaks here and there, but like I did all these in one sitting. Like, my voice is shot. I just kind of took throat shit to make my voice not as shot to do this last one. But this is the last one. This is the finale. This is the main event. This is the final Tales of the Samurai. And we saved the best one for last. The one that's probably going to be the most emotional for me. The one that really needs to get told. The truth about Mike. The truth about everything. Everything I ever kept about Mike. I am not holding back for this one right now. And if this takes an hour, we're sitting here for an hour and we're doing it. So let's get right into it. Mike. Mike was my best friend. He was my favorite burn kid. He was the most loyalist person I ever knew on the game. If I could ever love someone on the game as family, it was Mike. I loved Mike. Not in that gay way, but as family. I deeply cared about Mike. The friendship and closeness that me and Mike have, I can never duplicate it with anyone. There will never be someone like Mike that'll ever come along. Nobody can ever take Mike's place. Even if there were someone to come along, there will never be another Mike ever. The tragic story of Mike shattered me for 19 months. And to this day, I still have fully not recovered. And to be honest, I never will. So, we all know Mike's not here anymore. How did it get there? And why did it happen? Before that, you gotta go all the way back. So far back, I was being trained by my mentor before me. September 2013. I was being trained to be the heir of Misfit, and I was going to learn everything, all the knowledge of Misfit, all the clan knowledge, everything I needed to be. I was going to be the rightful heir. He was prepping me up to be his successor. To prove that, one of the tests he had me do was to run a clan on another game and make it successful. That was Burn. Did I complete that task and earn his respect and be worthy? Yes, I did. But this is about Mike, not my legacy. So Mike, you gotta talk about Burn. Burn started something I left out of the Burn video. Burn started as a 4-man team. Me, Shadow, Candy, and Desir. I was trying to move it from a 4-man team to a clan to please Zach, my mentor, and Desir wasn't having it. Desir is like, oh, I wanted to just be us. So Desir went against our backs, against my back, and created his own team called the B team. It was a fallback, a new team just for him. In that team was Mike. So Shadow said, let me get to know his B team. We'll bring them into Burn. We'll leave Desir with nothing. And then down the road, we'll dump them all. And then Desir will be done with. At that time, Shadow was trying to be my protege so that he would learn from me what I learned from Zach. And Shadow would eventually be the heir. But that's a different story. Now we know why that Shadow story was so personal in Tales of the Shadow. So I let Shadow do it, blah, 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 blah. The B team came to Burn. We left Desir with nothing, and one of those people was Mike. Well, Mike was real loyal. Mike was an ass kisser. Mike would kiss ass, be like, yes, handyman, yes, okay, yes, all right. Mike was a 12-year-old kid. Of course he's going to be loyal. Coming into a clan, not knowing what a clan was, all this power, all this success, it's all like, it's a lot for a 12-year-old. A 12-year-old think it's amazing. Mike thought it was amazing. So Mike was loyal, and yeah, through Burn, Mike was loyal. Mike became the Coco leader. They used to make fun of him for it. They used to call him the Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs leader. Underscore would call him a chode. Like everybody picked on Mike. Everybody picked on Mike. Always. Everyone either hated Royal or everyone picked on Mike, and that's why I always protected Mike and Royal over anyone else. They were my favorite because they were loyal. Because no matter how many people hated Royal, Royal could do no wrong in my eyes. No matter how much they picked on Mike, I would never pick on Mike. I always had, So those two looked up to me the most. And then they became co-leaders eventually, and, throughout Burns' run, Mike's been there. All the way to the end when it's in the Burn video installment. I became my mentor, and the clan rebelled against me. And, yeah. Mike stuck with me. Mike didn't rebel. You would say Mike chose wrong. Evil dictator becomes just like his mentor before him. Smart moves to go with everybody else and be happy, but Mike stuck with me. Mike didn't see any wrong in me. Mike appreciated how I treated him. Loyalty is respect. And over that entire, what went from May into the summer, it was a hard summer. A lot of struggling. Like I said, Burn was the first clan I lost. I was still green when it came to perfecting my craft as a player, and green to perfecting my craft as a clan leader and someone running a clan. Like, I had all the knowledge that I was taught, but I didn't know how to execute it like how I execute it now, or did years later, like I have. But Mike was there. It was a rough patch. Mike stayed loyal. And me and Mike, we used to sit in PlayStation party chats, talk, like I was, I'm gonna admit it, I'm gonna say it, I was gonna quit 40,000 times over in 2014 after that Burn shit. Didn't think I was good enough, didn't think I could do it, didn't think I could bounce back, didn't think I'd be able to live up to Zach's legacy, and Mike was there every party chat listening to it. He believed in me. He did. He believed in me. And the truth is, when they all came to me before Burn split and rebelled, I knew I was going to be just like my mentor. I knew I was going to be as corrupted as him, as vile as him, as an evil dictator as him. This is my destiny. I'm always going to have that darkness in me because it's how I was trained. It's who I was meant to be. It's who I was trained to be. I was created in a certain image. I saw Shadow turn. I saw the signs in Shadow when I was training him. He was going to go down that path. And when I lost when they rebelled, I knew there was no saving me. And when Burn split and Mike and Royal went with me, they were next in line to be the heirs, one of them. I couldn't do it. They always looked up to me. They always respected me. I couldn't give them that life. And they wanted it. They wanted that knowledge. They wanted that power. I pushed Royal away, who's Mike's sister and twin. I pushed her away. And I did it to protect her. Because I didn't want her becoming me, like my mentor before me. I pushed her away. And it hurt. Because I made her hate me. That's a girl who was a problem. And all the people in the clan didn't like her because of all the problems she started. But Handyman, Doctor Who, saw no wrong in her, saw the good things in her, protected her, made sure she didn't get kicked. When they wanted her gone, he found the solution to prevent that. She saw me as a hero, the way Mike looks at me as a hero. I'm not a hero. I wasn't meant to be a hero. But to them, I'm a hero. And I pushed her away so that she would never be the heir. I sabotaged my friendship, my mentorship with her to protect her from becoming like me and my mentor before me. And it hurt. But I also tried to do the same for Mike. For years, I tried to sabotage Mike. I tried to make him hate me. I tried to make him delete me, to block me. He always called back. Block him. He called me on a blocked number. Go to another phone. He found a way to sneak himself back in there. No matter what I could do, I could not get rid of Mike. I tried to sabotage him from being in certain clans, especially the bad clans, because if he was in with the bad clans, he'd eventually become like me. I sabotaged him for being the rightful heir. I sabotaged him from getting the knowledge. I sabotaged him from playing with certain groups. I tried to push him away for years to protect him so he wouldn't be like me, and he just wouldn't leave. He wouldn't go away. He wouldn't quit. He just stayed. He was impossible to get rid of. But that's the truth. And Mike never knew that. Mike always theorized that I tried to sabotage him, and that's the truth of why. I didn't want him to become me, which I knew he probably wanted to be. He wanted to be it more than anything. He wanted me to be happy for him and be that and be everything. That's why I always, when it came to an heir, when I always tried to find an heir, like a No Yes or a James or a Flash Lighting or a Shady McGrady, I always took someone that I had no connection to and would never care for at that level, so that if they turned, I would have no sympathy for them. But that's the truth. Truth that Michael never know. Because I know Michael never see this video. Going back 2014, we struggled, and Mike stayed there. We did Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was pretty fun. Hope, DJ. There is hope. There is hope. DJ hugs his girlfriend. We had funny moments. He played with me and Jay, Mitch, and shit. At that time, me and Mike were watching movies. We'd watch movies on DVD at the same time in party chats. Maybe that's a little weird, but we were close, you know? I was close with him. I was close with his family. Me and his mom were friends. You know, I was friends with everybody. You know, me and Mike were close. You know, we had a lot of fun talking in party chats, talk about life, talk about his dad, talk about movies, talk about shows, talk about all fun stuff. Walking Dead. Talk about the game. Mike really was a good friend. And then Mike got sick. 2015 rolled around, and Mike was kind of having some issues, and I was in SAH, didn't really think too much of it, you know, because Mike was just having some issues and that whatever. He went to the doctors, they misdiagnosed him, and then he had heart failure. And he was sick, and he was hospitalized for like a good part of 2015. Pretty serious. He was on a waiting list. He could have died. I was worried about him, but he told me not to worry and just do the SAH thing. And then the SAH thing hit. You know, I already talked about it with the Rock video, the history of SAH and LNF with the Rock Empire one, the Reign of Chaos Empire one. SAH fucked me over, and I was hit hard. And Mike wasn't even there to help me through it. He was in the hospital, out of my control. I was fucked. I mean, I got myself out of that pickle. But by the time Mike came back, late 2015, we're doing OTR. He joined OTR. We had some fun with Beast Mode. And 2016 rolled around, and I was doing Rock, and he had the heart transplant, which was good. And he came back, and everything was kind of normal again. And yeah, but throughout all those heart issues, while he was at the hospital, Mike's mom would call me, and I'd be on call with Mike and stuff. And yeah, so, you know, like I said, I was really close. Those were really hard phone calls to do. Mike came back 2016. We did Rock. He was in Rock. Then turned into Uncharted. Me and Mike had a lot of fun on Uncharted. Played with Titus. Did Burn on Uncharted. You know, every iteration of Burn except for the Burn 10-year anniversary and the final chapter, or whatever it was, when I did with Brian and Block. Those were the only two versions of Burn Mike wasn't in. For the record, like Mike was the heart and soul of Burn. I just want to say that right now. Mike was the true heart and soul of Burn. Nobody deserves the Burn legacy more than Mike. Nobody is more Burn than Mike. Mike is the greatest name in Burn's history. He bled for Burn. He owned 1%, and they used to laugh at him for that 1%, but he owned it. You know, we played Uncharted, had a good time, you know, moved to Battlefront, you know, throughout all this, like Battlefront and shit, blah, 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 blah. Mike, like, we played, you know, Mike's not the best player, you know. Mike's not a very good player. Like, I'm gonna just say it. Mike's shit. Like, Mike was never good at any game he plays. But Mike played. Mike would listen. Most of the, you know, one thing Flash Lighting and Shady McGrady didn't do is listen. Like, Mike listened. Mike cared. Mike was a real friend. Mike wasn't good, you know, in any game he played, and a lot of the people I played with didn't want to play with him, so I created the thing where he was my brother so that people would feel sorry for him and let him play. That's the truth of the origin behind that. He's not my brother, but he is my brother. He was like my brother. Like, I knew his mom. We were friends. We were family. I was like a family friend. You know, we were close like brothers. You could say we were family. It was that serious. We were family. Like, he grew up. He lost his dad. His dad went to jail. But it's like he had me in his life. I was that person that he could talk to do shit with. That's who I was. He grew up being my friend. I know it's weird because of the differences and the gap, but I was a family friend, so it was perfectly normal from that aspect. But he was shit. Not many people liked him as a player. They had issues with him, and I never could make them like him, and it pissed Mike off because I never defended Mike. I'm like, I can't make them like you. You have to earn that respect from them as a player. You know. Then when the villain shit happened, when I lost Thrawn's fist, the villain thing took over. It consumed me. And, you know, Mike and Master didn't get along. The truth is, Mike and Master didn't get along. When Master wasn't there, me and Mike were fine. When Master was there, Master would, like, totally, go back and watch the videos. It's all there. Master laid into Mike. And then, of course, I'm going to take Master's side because he's my real cousin. Mike's not my real brother, but Master's my real cousin. You know, it just was a bad situation of events. The villain shit, it consumed me. I enjoyed it too much. I lost sight of what mattered, and I paid the price for it because my friendship with Mike, the family dynamic I had with Mike and his family just died. It just got destroyed and ruined, and what I wanted to do from the start, ever since Burns split, is push Mike away. I ended up pushing him away. And I didn't want him to be pushed away. And I tried my hardest to avoid that from happening because I saw it happening. But by that time, it was too late. And Mike didn't want to trust me, and I don't blame him. I lost Mike. Mike was my burn kid. He was my brother. He was my family. My best friend. He was the person I cared the most about in the history of the game that I have ever associated with. And I hurt him. And all the respect that was built with 8 years, all the moments, all the laughs, all the good moments, all the trust was all disintegrated over the course of a few months. And this little kid that looked up to me as a hero saw me as a villain, saw me as a monster, and that monster was who I was always meant to be because that's the life my mentor wanted me to become. That's what he handpicked me for. I was created in his image. It's the one thing I wanted Mike and Royal never to become. And no matter what, he never saw me as that, but in the end, he did see me as that. And it hurt. Even though I was trying to push him away for years to protect him, keeping him was a good thing. And in the end, he hated me, just like Royal did. Hurt him to the point where he will never forgive me. He will never come back. I will never have him as a brother or him as a friend. I will never be able to tell him just how sorry I was and how there's nothing more I'd ever want to do than to make it right. He hit me hard, and I paid the price for it. 19 months. I sat there, depressed, struggled, scratched and clawed, dying and rotting away. One person did what no enemy has ever done. Not Ailman, not Dill Dog, no Battlefront enemy, no Last of Us enemy, no Sourface, no Mr. Cat, no Grimes. Not even my mentor when he came after me. Everybody that has ever tried to take me down, any rival, any enemy, out of anyone I've ever known on the game, Mike was the closest one to destroy me. One person hit me so hard than any clan I've ever run. When I lost Burn, it didn't hit me as hard. When I lost SAH, it didn't hit me as hard. When I lost Rock, it didn't hit me as hard. When I lost Unit, it didn't hit me as hard. When I lost Thrawn's Fist, it did not hit me as hard. One person did, though, Mike. That's how much he mattered. I struggled, scratched, clawed, got the fire I needed to come back. I came back the different man now. I came back with trust issues with everybody. I will never trust a person the same way again. I will never get close to another person the same way again. I'll always have an eye over my shoulder with an eyes in my back. Mike was my biggest regret. There's nothing I regret more than Mike. And I mean, I regret leaving Misfit and my mentor. I regret Burns' fate. I regret what happened with SAH. I regret leaving Havoc with Rock. I regret what happened with Johnny and Jess. I regret a lot of shit, man. A lot. I do. One of the things I most regret is Thrawn's Fist, the fate of Thrawn's Fist. Which led to the villain, which led to what happened with Mike. But the one thing I regret the most is Mike. One person over any clan, any person ever. Mike is the thing I regret the most. It is a mistake. and a failure. Mike is my greatest failure. I failed to protect him. I failed to keep him safe. I failed to be the friend that he believed I was. I failed to do what's right by him. I failed him as a mentor, as a brother, as a friend. I failed him to give him the better life that I promised with all the other burn people, and even after burn. He never saw me as the bad guy. He never saw me as a man to do wrong. And in the end, he saw me as the bad guy, and I did him wrong. He's the greatest failure I ever had, a failure I will never be able to correct. And it will always haunt me. I miss Mike more than any person and any clan and anything in the history of my history on the game. It's something I live with every day. Every time I turn on the game, every time I make a video, every time I play a match. It hit me hard, but it did not ruin me. It's a lesson. Many lessons. Don't get close. And most of all, know what you have when you had it. Because you're not going to realize how good you had it until it's gone. The legacy of Mike is a true friend and my brother. The heart and soul of Burn, the true rightful heir of my legacy, and a kid who grew up respecting me, and in the end, no matter what, he always saw me as a hero, and in the end, he saw me as the villain everybody else has always seen me as. Mike, I am truly sorry. And I miss you more than anything on the game. But I know wherever you are, you're in a better place because you deserve better than the following this crazy fool on a stupid adventure. And that's the truth.